So I've already got a number of pressure washers. I've got that Karcher K5 and I've got the other Paxcess one there. I tend to use these on different sites, so leave them there. And the new Paxcess one that I've got, well, let's see how that operates, and I'll explain the reason why I've got that one over this Paxcess one. This is my new Paxcess pressure washer in the box, and this is it out of the box. So now all we need to do is just get it assembled, and then we can crack on with the job in hand. Things like this, they're always easy to put together. And in this instance, you've got some screws there, so all you need is a relatively long length of Phillips screwdriver. Right, let's pop those down, get the instructions, and the first thing that we've got to put together, I think, is the wheels. Right, so everything's listed, it tells you what to do in order. And yeah, first thing to put on is the wheels. So here are the wheels, and they should just pop into place in here. So you've got your hole, get it, and just give it a knock, and there you go, it's in place. Do the same with the one on the other side. Get it there and give it a knock, and that's the wheels sorted. Let's have a look what the next thing is. Right, the accessory rack, which is this chappy. Right, so this is going to go onto the back, onto there, and it should just fit over and get screwed onto that, like that. Right, so there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 times the 16mm ones. So in here you've got 2 sizes of screws. Right, that, if I'm not mistaken, is the 16mm one. That one there. Or is it that there? And the only way to tell is to measure them. Unfortunately, on the Leatherman, you've got a tape measure. Yep, 16mm. So it's the smaller one that's 16mm. Get the screwdriver and just pop that into there and screw it home. Just going to put all 4 in temporarily, just to hold it in place. I think actually I'm going to go and get my powered screwdriver, because it makes life a little bit easier. Powered screwdriver, or cordless screwdriver, comes with all the screwdriver bits. So just need to pop that into there, make sure it's the right one. Yep, perfect. And then we'll screw these home. And you can see how that makes life an awful lot easier. Right, so we've got that on, and now we've got to assemble the long handle. So that's the handle on top, and also the drum as well for holding the... We just pop these 2 together. Right, it's actually keyed, so it can only go one way, and you've got 2 indications on here where you put the screws, and that's 2 on either side. You're going to need your longer screwdriver. So just screw that home. You can see, really, really easy to do. The next part are, you've got these 2. These will be the axles that this sits on. They are different, there's a hole on one side. Right, so we've got one with a hole in it there. And we've got this. This is blanked, this is open. So you need to put that one on that side, and it should just fit into there, like so. I'm just going to take it out and show you. There's 4 screw holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're key to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it just pops in, like that, like that. There's your 4 screw holes. They're there, they're there. And we just again need to use the smaller screw. Pop all of those in, then use the powered screwdriver again. Okay, so that's that in place. You see that it moves easily enough. And now we get this, and it just slides onto here. And it'll only go one way, and if I'm not mistaken, it's like that. And it clicks home. Spin it round, there we go. That requires 4 screws going into there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're the longer ones. We've got a handle that needs to go on, and again that goes onto the side that you've left open there, and it should just push in. Whichever way you put it in, you should be able to use it. That just pushes home. Now you've got your handle. And the gun rack. So we've got some accessories here. Let's get these out. Right, so we've got the 4 nozzles for the different fan that we want coming out. Just pop those there. This is going to be the bottom one, which just pops onto there. So that's like the cup that it sits into. So this is the holster that'll hold it in place and guide it. That just fits onto there, like so. And there's just one more, which is this one. And this is basically for the cable. So that just goes onto there, like so. This is where the water is going to be coming in. So we need to pop this on, because this is a filter to make sure that you don't get any debris going into the pump that could block the nozzle on the gun. So you can just finger tighten that on there. Then we'll connect the gun and the lance up. See how it's all straightforward. Okay, there's the gun and the lance. And literally, it's keyed. Get hold of it, pop it in, give it a twist, and that's it. Right, so that's the gun. This locks in the hose into place there, and then we should be pretty much ready to go. Before we use it, I'll actually show you how to put it away, if that makes sense. So you'll have disconnected your lance, and then you pop that into there, like so. And I always recommend you just stand on the front and then just wind it up. And it's as easy as that. Now, your lance will go into there, like so, and it just beds into the bottom. But we need to discuss these in a bit more depth before I use it, because this is the reason why I've got it. Right, let's just screw this in. That just pushes home. And again, you only need to hand tighten these. Right, that should be that. Okay, let's discuss the heads. Right, we're going to go through the 4 different nozzles that you get with it, and I'll explain why you should be using different ones. Before I do that, you obviously get a detergent bottle with it as well, and you can use this for anything like the foaming cleaner for cars, or for cleaning down slabs, etc. Pop that out of the way. Right, if I turn this round, you'll see on the back here you've got the 4 different nozzles, and they're held securely in place in these rubber grommets. In fact, so securely you've got to give them a bit of a tug to pull them out, but they're held in place in there, so as long as you put them back, you're not going to lose them. And we've got 4 sizes there, or 4 different effects, I should say, not sizes. And you'll see that the hole on them changes, and there's a reason for that. It gives you the degree on these, and if I just take my glasses off, I'll be able to see it. So we've got a 0 degree there, and this is for the spread of the fan, yeah? So that's 0 degrees. The next one's 15 degrees, so you're going to be about there. The next one's 25, so you're going to be about there. And the next one's 40, so you're going to be about there. The reason for the difference in the spreads is, the more concentrated, so where there's a 0 degree of spread, that's concentrated. And that jet is going to be extremely powerful, so powerful that it'll hurt you if it's on your skin. But as that jet is dissipated, say up to the 40 degree one, you've got the same amount of power coming through it, or the same amount of water, but because it's dissipated over a wider area, the force isn't as strong. Why is that important? Well, I'll pop some shots on from what other people have done, because this is a lesson I learned a long time ago and I'll never do it again. If you have the most concentrated, powerful jet and you use it on a slab, it will clean it, absolutely no problem. The only trouble is, it will only clean a needle point of it. So to clean the whole of the slab, you're going to be there for about half an hour cleaning it. Whereas, if you use one of the wider ones, you get a bigger spread of jet, which basically means, if I was cleaning this, if I use the 0 degree one, it would be in a needle jet and it would clean just where my finger is there. So you imagine it, I would have to go over this for a half an hour just to clean that slab. Where if I use the 25-degree one, now instead of a needle, I've got a fan spread. So it's going to be something like that. So as I come over it, I'm cleaning that area as opposed to cleaning that area. But it makes such a difference. Now, if you're using the needle, it will clean it, or it will get deeper than using the fan, admittedly. But there's lots of instances where you don't want that power. If you're cleaning your car, you don't want all that power on your plastic bumper, because the first thing it's going to do is it's going to take the paint off your plastic bumper. It could damage your paintwork on the actual metal as well. So again, you would be coming down to something that dissipates that energy more. When you start using these, you'll actually see it in practice, so you'll know what I mean. But there's a reason for having 4 different ones. And the reason why I've got this one over the other Paxcess one, I'll show you now. We've talked about these nozzles, and they're set at different degrees. Whereas with this one that I bought first, the way that you change this is you actually twist the end. And what that does is, and I'll come in so you can see it better. So open like that, in there is the 0-degree jet, and it spreads out by squashing it. So as I twist that, you can see these 2 plates coming together. And basically what that does is it squashes that jet and spreads it out, which is fine, but it actually makes it uneven. Whereas with these, you get an even spread. So much better. Right, let's see it in operation. Let's get the water connected up first. That's nice and easy. Simply take off whatever hose connection you've currently got on. Spin that round, and you can see here that just pushes on. Pull the sleeve down, and that's in place now, and we finger tighten that, so that's okay. And if we turn the water on, that'll start to fill this up. Never run it dry, it will damage it, so always make sure that the water's turned on first before you switch this on. We'll get the hose off. Okay, so the hose is off, and now we'll pop the lance on. Again, whoops. Make sure that's on properly and clicked in. Right, so all you do, there's the hole that it goes into. It's got a seal rubber on it there, and you just pop it into place until you hear it click, like that. Now that's not going anywhere. To release it, what you have to do is press that in, and it shows an arrow going that way. Press that in and just pull it out. Again, we'll pop that back, pop it in, and that's done and dusted. Right, let's see it in action. We'll turn the water on. I can actually already see in the filter that we put on there, there's some debris gone into there, so it just shows how useful that filter is. Right, so we've got that. There's 8 meters of hose and there's 8 meters of cable. So both really useful. Right, so the power's on, the water's on. I'm just going to pop this nozzle into the end there, and to do that, that's your release. So just get the size of nozzle that you want, pull the neck back, and it's in place and it's not going anywhere. And you can change which way the fan is as well, just by moving that around. Now you can see it's the start of the season. We've had birds sat on this swinging bed, and they've made a bit of a mess on it, so we'll get rid of that first before we attack the wall. So on the front there, we've got off and on. Let's turn it to on. It's not making any sound because it's already pressurized, because I've already had it on. However, when you switch it on, you'll see, and it's very quiet compared to others that I've had. This is very quiet. Just depress the switch, and that's it. And you can see there the degree of the fan, so that's 15 degrees. Right, let's clean up the mess on the chair. Right, so we need to get rid of this. Let's turn it on. Just turn it around so you can see it better. Now this is caked on, it's been there for a while, and just look how easy it is cleaning it off. Right, okay, so that was dried and caked on, and it's all gone now. So that's ready for the new season, and it's as easy as that. Now let's see it at work on the stone. Reasons to use a pressure washer. Well, lots of reasons. You can do your paving, because lichen gets all over that, and I did this at the start of the season. But what I've got this one for is, you can see that there's runoff from the paving onto the wall there, and you've got all this lichen that's built up. And when you've got something that's stone and decorative, you want to show that off. You don't want it with all this rubbish on it. So we're going to use the pressure washer on that, and that's what you're going to see now. And as you can see, it's going to be a big job because it goes all the way down there. I'm going to work from left to right, but I'll just show you this bit in the centre. Obviously you work from top to bottom, so let's just see how this clears it. Right, so we've done that bit. I'll bring the camera over, you can see it. You can see how it's cleared it, and then I'll do the whole of the wall then. So you can see here, it's taken all this lichen off, cleaned it all the way down there. It's not like sandblasting it. You're not going to get back to stone as such, but you are going to get the majority of the lichen off. As I say, you can see the difference there. Right, I'm going to crack on with it all now, and then we'll see it. Now you can see the speed that that's coming off at. So here's the step that we're doing. Right, now this isn't about cleaning for aesthetic purposes. When you've got lichen on a surface and it gets wet, especially during winter, when it's a bit thicker and it's constantly wet, it's dangerous. So this is about making something safer as well. Right, so you can see we've just finished this now. It's taken probably 10 minutes. And as it's starting to dry out, you can already see a big difference. We'll just compare that to what hasn't been done. Right then, so that's what's been done. And then we come on to the, oh dear, we haven't done this bit yet. So I've got all that to do, which in all honesty won't take too long. But if I just hold that there, you can see the difference. So quick, so easy, such a change. And My son loves using it as well. It's a good bit of kit, this. So it's 1300 watts, 450 litres per minute. You get 8 metres of cable and of hose. It is very quiet compared to others, but then again the others that I've got might be a little bit more higher wattage, so they're about 1800 watts. But this does the job fantastically, really, really well. I've done all the top bit of this, and my son's just going to finish off the bottom bit that you can see there. And that is the difference that it makes. So what did it take? About an hour? But so much better. Okay, all done. As I said, small but perfectly formed. Not the most powerful, but you don't really need it to be the most powerful. If you're doing your slabs, if you're doing the stonework like I've done behind me, it's perfect for that. It's not too heavy because it's not got a huge motor in it. It connects great. These are nice and easy to swap out, making sure that you get the perfect one for the job that you're using. And yeah, it's a recommendation.